Looking forward to answering some of your questions. Fellow Kettering boy here, where would you rank your legacy compared to our fellow towners? You've got Hugh Dennis, James Acaster, Sean Dyche, and the legend that is Rapid Ricky Evans to compete with. So, I'm not too aware of the first two, unfortunately, but Sean Dyche in particular, fantastic football manager, did a great job with Burnley over the years, and then obviously went to Everton. Fantastic career, and I feel like we're yet to see the best of Rapid Ricky Evans. I've seen him live and sort of natural with no pressure, fantastic talent, great character. So maybe in terms of my legacy, might be better, but I can certainly confirm that my dance move are nowhere near as good as Rapid Ricky Evans, that's for sure. Hi Kyren, first of all, great that you're the world champion. You're doing a bang-up job. My question is regarding getting new blood into the sport. Do you have any ideas or suggestions on getting young people more interested? So this is something I am quite passionate about, obviously having two very young children that are wanting to get into it as well. We travel a lot over to China, and I've sort of had the lucky experience of visiting a couple of schools, and some of them have like snooker academies on the side of the school. So, you can see clearly why the Chinese youngsters are coming through thick and fast. I love some of the things that the WPBSA do with the smaller star snooker tables, and they turn it into a bit of a maths lesson. So, maybe that's of interest to the younger generation, and maybe that's something we should look at trying to do more. But from my point of view as a professional, try and do something a little bit different. Get a funny walk-on song, try a few dance moves walking down the tunnel, and see where that takes you. Next question. I enjoyed your walk-on at the Players. What's your favourite dance move? So I'm definitely a dad dancer. Terrible rhythm. Although I love a bit of drum and bass, so I think it's called skanking. I think that's the dance move for drum and bass, so don't mind a bit of skanking. Hi Kyren, what is the best advice you can give to an absolute beginner? So an absolute legend that has helped me is Mr. Barry Stark. I'd advise you to go on to YouTube and look at Barry Stark, his coaching advice. Sorry Stephen, but I'm going to have to put a plug against Q-tips there. Why always the Gucci shoes? So that was kind of one of the most expensive things I ever brought when I think I won in Shanghai. So I remember being at Heathrow Airport about to fly out to Beijing with my wife Sophie, and we treated me to a pair of Gucci loafers, and ever since I've just never been able to find anything as comfortable as them. So I think currently I've got 4. And I've had a couple that are resold, so they're like brand new again. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend smelling them though. So what has been the main thing that has enabled you to step up your game so brilliantly in the past 12 months? Thank you very much. Is it confidence, technical change, or a bit of both? So I've tried my best to not worry about technique so much. I feel like I've kind of tinkered a little bit too much over the years, so I've just tried to go out there and play snooker. Something I believe in is if you can make this game as simple as possible, that's half of the battle out there. But I've been working in particular with a solution hypnotherapist called Chris O'Connor, and he's managed to really get my sleep in order, keep me nice and calm, because there's an awful lot of pressure out there. So I feel like that's been the key change for me in the past 12 months. Do you have a favourite shot of your professional career? So, yeah, I do actually. Where my career kind of took off was in 2015 in the Shanghai Masters final against Judd Trump. And at 9 each, obviously I'd never been in that position before. I was queuing over the pack of reds, and I cut a really acute red into a middle pocket, and I was leaving everything for Judd if it didn't go in. So it was kind of a do or die shot. Thankfully, that went in. I managed to make a 70 break from there to win 10-9, and I feel like my career has just taken off ever since then. So That's one that springs to mind. Which is more annoying as a snooker player, losing a game by a whitewash or by a final frame decider? So probably by a whitewash for me. I would hate to feel like I've not been a part of a match. You know, I don't care if I've thrown a match away or, you know, my opponent has played out of his skin. You know, obviously you've got people watching you, pay good money to come and watch you. I would hate to not win a frame. So for me, it would be more annoying to lose by a whitewash. What are your fitness goals to maximise your snooker game? Nice and easy. I haven't got any. That's why I've put a bit of timber on, so we'll skip that one. Favourite memory with Barry Stark. So I took him out to Thailand, actually, in Bangkok, and we went out for the 6 Red World Championships, and I actually went on to win that tournament with him. But it was in a shopping mall where the venue was, and the venue was the top floor. So we're going up the escalators, and obviously the ones going down, there was a few Thai snooker fans. And as me and Barry are going up, they've shouted, "Come on, photo, photo, photo." So I'm saying, yeah, come back round, meet us at the top. I've got a game shortly, so meet us at the top. So we've waited there. They've gone full circle, gone up the escalators. And as I've started to pose, ready for a photo, they've given me the camera and said, "Can you take a photo with me and Barry?" So, yeah, he's more famous than I am in Thailand. Cheers. Who is the most famous person in your contacts? It's a toss-up between Ricky Evans, I think, and Michael Owen. Michael Owen is obviously into his horses, and I've actually purchased shares in one of the horses that Michael Owen owns. So, yeah, probably someone like Michael Owen. What's on your lock screen? So at the moment, I change it quite frequently. Most of the time, it's me and the family, or my dog, or a trophy or anything like that. But at the moment, it's me in black and white, just as I'm about to walk out for the final session of the World Championships, and I'm sort of waving my extension in the air to acknowledge the crowd. Marmite, love it or hate it. Used to hate it, love it now. Hi champ, how far do you think Wilson Jr. will go in his snooker journey? Seems very into it. So yeah, this is something I'm very passionate about. I'm trying to get my eldest in as well, because I believe Finley has a bit of talent, but he's more into his football. But Bailey at 7 years old, yeah, he seems very, very natural. He seems like the full package, if you like. He sort of plays the part very well. We recently did an exhibition and in Lincoln, and I think everybody was more interested in watching him than me. But yeah, we'll see. He needs to grow a little bit more, so I'm trying to encourage him to eat his vegetables, because at the moment he's queuing a little bit like Joe Swale with his elbow to the side. But yeah, we'll see how time goes. Hi Kyren, I'd love to know if you have any favourite books or films, especially while on tour. Yeah, I have a few favourite films. Obviously, we do a hell of a lot of travelling, watch a lot of movies on planes and stuff like that. In particular, my favourite film of all time, I'd have to say, is The Wolf of Wall Street, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill. Yeah, just unbelievable comedy. So much going on in that film. Crazy lifestyle. And yeah, big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. So, Wolf of Wall Street. The top 32 are lined up in front of you. You have one custard pie. Who gets it? Oh man, I got to be careful about this one. One custard pie. Who gets it? Top 32. Sean Murphy. The Crucible and Ali Pali are famed for their intense/energetic atmospheres. What other venues or tournaments stand out to you as special? Ooh. I really like the Tempodrome in Berlin. I think there's around 3,000 fans, and I have a bit of a special connection to that venue. It was one of the first tournaments I won with my previous manager, who sadly passed away, Brandon Parker. So yeah, real fond memories there. I've managed to win that tournament twice, and yeah, always enjoy playing in front of the German fans. What guilty pleasures or vices do you have on tour? got a few, but I don't think they're camera worthy. Absolutely love a Nando's. Me and my brother constantly, if we've got a short period of time for a mid-session interval in between sessions, Taylor already have the Nando's ordered. And also love a Starbucks. So, they are camera-worthy answers anyway. How much pressure is linked to the Crucible curse, or do most players just think of it as a media stunt? I think it's always good for media to have a different story, and it's certainly something that has been long lasting. You've had so many legends of the game that have gone on to win it multiple times but haven't won it the year after winning it for the first time. So it's a great story. I don't mind. It just means that more eyes are on you, and I always feel like I've dealt with pressure very well. So I'm going to enjoy the challenge. I always like facing new challenges, and this is one. Right, guys, thank you very much for all of your questions. I hope I answered them all. I've got a Nando's on the way, so I've got to shoot. Take care.